Commenting already. Jeez. Yes, that's right. It's completely gone. Went live just because this is so unbelievable. Figured we better prove it.
So
what happened? What happened, Rich?
If we didn't have bad luck, we'd have no luck at all.
Yeah.
So, let me tell you a story time. And this will all come out in the video. But you guys really are into the transmission video. We've got like 140,000 views on that. And I watched the video a couple times. We got the car running. I had a couple small bugs around the yard. Got those figured out, took it down the road, and it shifted. By the time I got it going, it was about midnight. I drove to the gas station. If you follow me on Instagram, I filled up the tank with gas. It went from first to second to third. I got a big smile on my face, like, we're going to power tiller, awesome. So then I shut it off, filled it up with gas, go to start it again, no problem, fired right up, go to leave, and it would not shift out of second gear. So gas station is literally about 3-4 minutes down the road. I brought the car back in second gear, doing about 3,500 RPM. I found the vacuum line for the modulator was a little bit loose. The fitting on the modulator is bigger than the one on the carburetor. So I fixed that, but then it was past midnight. I wasn't gonna go drive it down the road anymore, so it was fine. I don't want to piss off the neighbors. Worked till about 2 in the morning, put the glass in, put a bunch of other stuff in. I'm all happy, ready to go. Next morning we had an alignment scheduled. I go to leave and it would not shift out of second gear again. Went down the road and it started ticking a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe something is, they're connected. It's not shifting and something's ticking. And I'm going, there's nothing in the transmission that would make that noise. And anyway, replaced the modulator valve. That wasn't it. What happened was the little valve inside the governor. If you watch Joe towards the end of transmission, he said this valve has to move with the governor. That's what tells you whether you're full throttle or whatever. Tells the transmission when to shift. Called up a guy in town and said, hey, you got any transmissions? He goes, I got one under my shed. Go grab whatever you need. Put the governor in. First, second, third, no problem. Called the alignment shop. By now it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon by the time I figured that out. So I was about 6 hours behind schedule already. And he's like, nope, no alignment, can't do it. Shut the car off, started it again, started ticking a little louder, a little louder, a little louder. I'm like, oh, that's not right. So then I'm like, that's really bad. By the time I got home, it was pretty bad. Oil pressures dropped. I'm like, ah, shit. So jacked it up. And I just took the engine mounts out, disconnected the exhaust, jacked up the engine, dropped the pan while it was still in the car, and found this.
Okay.
Not the coolant. That spilled in afterwards, but we got bearing in the oil pan. So that was 2 o'clock in the afternoon by the time I had that done. So I naturally went inside, had a coffee, I cut the grass, because I'm thinking about what to do. And then I'm like, well, whatever. It is what it is. I'm glad it happened here and not in the middle of nowhere. So, hopped on the Kijiji there, which is Canada's Craigslist. A guy about 15 minutes down the road is a big Pontiac nut. Never knew he was there. Drove past his house a million times. And he goes, yeah, I live right across from there. I'm like, oh, okay. So Aaron and I went to go see him yesterday. He had a good 400 rotating short block that he was asking $1,100 for, which would have been perfect because it's just...
Hold on. Before we get there, why, what are, okay, shit, what was I gonna say? Everybody's just all kinds of engine options right now. That's all I'm seeing.
Okay.
Detroit, Tesla, I saw,
okay.
you know, all kinds of terms, like, yeah, everything. Duramax, whatever.
Before we got to the...
We've got lots of engine options.
We've got a couple of Cummins in the shop. We've got the Detroit. We've got no shortage of engine options, but here's the problem.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Here's the problem. We spent, like, the exhaust is set up for a Pontiac. The transmission that we rebuilt is set up for a Pontiac. the sniper that we got is meant for this car. We got a ram air that only fits on the sniper that's fit to this car. And it's disappointing because we put the engine, we didn't know any. So going back to this engine, we bought it as somebody else's project. What's the deal with the engine? He goes, low mileage rebuild, 30,000 over. I put new gaskets in it, and I put a new oil pump in it.
All right, now we're getting good suggestions here. Good.
Okay, so good suggestions would be like, hey Rich, I have a 400 or a 455.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I'm 40 minutes away from you. I'm gonna drop that off tonight. Let's install it and let's get her going down the road. That's a good suggestion. Anyway, so we put it on the engine dyno because we didn't know anything about the engine. We're like, well, if it's gonna blow up, it's gonna blow up on the dyno. Oil pressure was good then. And that was it. And that kind of determined...
That's the baffling thing is like, yeah, this engine was the only thing that you didn't touch.
Yeah.
Because it was rebuilt, good to go. Like,
right. So in my head, I'm like, well, the dyno didn't blow it up, so we're good to go. And it determined how the build was going to go. It's not numbers matching, but it's period correct. If we knew back then what we know now, maybe we would have put an LS on. I don't know. I think we're still happy with the Pontiac.
Well, we also, and I think some people are saying it too, like the whole purpose of this build wasn't to diesel swap it or do anything wild.
No, it was a period correct GTO, and we're making it drivable and enjoyable and whatever. So.
And it started out as a restoration, true restoration.
Yeah.
And that's what is going to bring the biggest value to it,
right? Because we thought it was numbers matching. Then we realized it's not numbers matching, so let's make a period correct car, which is what we did. And now we're making kind of a nice resto mod or a cruiser or whatever.
Things evolved.
Things evolved, and
which is good. This is great. This is
what happens after 4 years. So we went down to go see the guy. And LS swap crossed my mind. I actually had somebody reach out on Instagram. I'm 45 minutes away. 2 days, you and I can hash this out, and we can get it in. I'm not saying that we can't. Problem is, we're gonna rush it to get it done in time for a power tour.
It's a lot of R&D and whatever.
We're gonna scratch the paint. We're going to the exhaust needs to be put back different. It's gonna be cobbled to a point that I'm not gonna be happy, and I'm gonna have to redo everything after power tour. So. I don't want to do that. I don't have time for that. I want to move on to the C10 and the two-stroke and whatever.
Plus, we want to go on power tour.
And we want to go on power tour.
Power tour means we're leaving Friday. This is the problem.
And it's Wednesday. So this happened around 3 o'clock yesterday. So about 5 o'clock, I finished cutting the grass. My dad helped me out too, so thanks, Dad, because then while I'm cutting grass, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, that's out, that's out. Yeah. All right, let's get our shit together. What do we do? So we found the guy that lives down the road. He's getting rid of a bunch of stuff. Now, none of the stuff actually matched. So he's got a shelf full of blocks, a shelf full of cranks, and a shelf full of leftover parts.
But more importantly, everything is Pontiac.
Everything is Pontiac. He's a big Pontiac nut. 2 judges in his barn. Super nice guy. And you'll see it in the video a little bit. He wasn't too keen about me showing his stuff because
everything's for sale, but you know.
Yeah. So anyway.
Don't call him.
So he had a rotating 400 block, which is what I found him. But he's like, it was on Kijiji for a month. He said, a guy's coming from Toronto to come grab that block. I'm like, well, do you have anything else? I'm like, yeah, I got lots of stuff. Come on down. So we went down there, and the rotating block means that the pistons are already meant for the right block. The bearings are in it. The crank should be good. It's spinning over. There's no shavings in it, and it's there. I can see it. It spins over good. No heads on it, but we can tell that the cylinder walls are okay. And he says the guy's coming. He swears he's coming. He called me twice today. I'm coming tomorrow. So he goes, I'll be there at 8 o'clock. He goes, I'll give him until 10 o'clock. 10:01. If you're in the driveway and he's not, you can have the engine. If not, you get picked from the other engine. So went back, called Summit saying we need rebuild kit for 400 or 455 because he's got a 455 as well. Heard back from Summit, said we don't have anything for a 455 right now, so make sure you get that 400. I got there this morning at 10 after 10, and the guy was just leaving with the 400 in the back of his Dodge. So he goes, he knew he was coming, so that's gone. So we went through his shelf, and he had another 400 block, but no good crank. And all I did was, basically I yanked the engine out this morning. I knew that there was pieces in the pan, but I didn't know from what. So I said, can I give you a little bit extra? Can I take the 455 and the crank and take the 400 block in case my crank is okay? He goes, yeah, bring back the one that you don't use and I'll give you your other money back. So perfect. Called the machine shop first thing this morning, said I'm in a jam, I got a problem, and they're like, yep, we'll help you out, don't tell anybody. Because they're doing me a favor by jumping ahead of the line to get us ready. So brought him the 455 and the 400. Basically, I backed in. A guy was there with a crane. He yanked. He's like, "Which one are we building?" I said, "Well, I got no crank for the 400. If my crank is no good, then the 455." He goes like this. He goes, "Bearing material." He goes, "Crank shot." He goes, "455. Get it, boys. Grab it in the hot tank." They measured everything first, so that 455 is already bored 30 thou over, which isn't great because the 455 is already thinner walls because it's a bigger bore, but 30 thou is about it. So he goes, but they looked really good. You still see crosshatch on it. He stored them properly, lots of grease and everything on it. Looked at the crank is stock, so standard, and it looked really good. He goes, just a polish and we're good with that. The connecting rods for all Pontiacs across the board are the same. So the 400 and the 455 share the same connecting rods, and those rods were good. He did send me a set of 455 pistons, but they were 20 thou over. Because again, they didn't match. So they got another guy, one guy cleaning the parts, one guy talking to me, one guy ordering parts. So we're getting parts shipped from California overnight. We're getting 30 thou over pistons, bearings, standard bearings, and a full gasket set, oil pump, and whatever else. They say it'll arrive tomorrow, but even if it arrives tomorrow, it'll probably be late in the day. So more than likely they'll be putting the short block together Friday morning or very late Thursday night. I'll be getting the short block back on Friday. We'll be putting the heads back on it again and the cam. The lifters are all full of junk, so I need new lifters. So we called Comp Cams and we bought a new cam shaft and lifters off of them. So they are overnighting new cam.
Yeah, big thanks to
lifters.
Comp Cams. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Coming through like rock stars.
So they gave us a good deal on lifters, so we'll help you out. Lifters, rockers, and a camshaft.
Summit is helping too, aren't
Summit's
they?
helping us. Oil pump and some miscellaneous stuff. We're getting, I think whoever assembled this engine just used...
Yeah, we found some stuff out.
Some hardware.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to just hide all these idiots.
So this to me is just a grade 8 bolt off the hardware store shelf. So they were using that for head bolts. We're getting some ARP bolts in. And if everything from here goes the way it's supposed to, we should be able to get rolling Friday night late and driving all day Saturday. So, yeah. But that's it. If parts get held up at the border, if some parts are wrong, if some parts don't show up, then we're in trouble because of the weekend as well too. So Stefan would be here, but he's
working on his secret project. Yeah,
he's working on his project. He's feeling the stress too, and I'm just it is what it is. I was supposed to be in Milwaukee right now, so
yeah, you're supposed to be at the Milwaukee Tool Symposium.
Yeah,
to check out all the newest, latest, greatest Milwaukee stuff. And if you watch the DEBOSS video, you kind of know why we wanted to be there specifically.
Yeah, but, and so that's not going to happen, unfortunately. So apologize to them. So they canceled my flight, my hotel, and all that late Tuesday night, and I was supposed to leave this morning. So unfortunately, the transmission and the engine stuff put me back like a good full day, which is the last day that I wanted to, tweak the last things, cruise around, get the safety, get the alignment done. Still a long day, but I'll have that day tomorrow and tonight. We'll pull the we'll roll this thing over and we'll pull a couple main bearing caps just to see what happened. I have no idea what happened, whether you can put one of the bearings in upside down, because it does look like a fresh rebuild. You can see that there's crosshatch in it. The bottom of the heads look really good. So I don't understand what happened. The cam shaft is still okay. It's just all my lifters are full of junk.
So yeah, if anybody didn't catch it and they're just tuning in now, we're going with a 455. It was a 400 in there, but fate and honestly, I think it's as much as you don't want this stuff to happen, it makes things.
That's like a bad reality show.
Yeah. So this is the 400 block that was in the GTO.
Yeah, so
GTO's
this,
over here.
and that's the other 400 block that we might have used, but most definitely are not. So.
Oh, and what happened to the original 400? Just.
Well, we'll find out right now.
Yeah, it's all torn up. It's torn down. We found bits in the bottom of the pan. Turned out to be what, camshaft? No, bearings.
I got bearings.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that happened in third gear of all things.
Yeah. I think it
Not
started
even
in second.
Starting, yeah.
I think it started then already. And these engines don't like to be revved very high, but I never went past 3,500, and the engine never got hotter than 210. So, to me, that's not.
The problem isn't that it's a Pontiac engine.
Pontiacs were good engines. They
Yeah.
were, I don't know.
The problem is that we trusted whoever rebuilt it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Hoogie over revved it. Yeah.
Hoogie hasn't
Turning the
even
key.
driven in the car yet.
No, by
Or
turning
that.
the key and going blah 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 blah.
Any Pontiac buffs out there that are watching, I've got heads that say 8.6 on it and another 8 on the first runner. Oh, 8.5, and then I've got casting number 6090. Can somebody tell me what those heads are off? They're not high output or high compression engines because they don't have the extra chamfer, like this isn't filled in. And they are, I don't know if that's a round port. Would you call that round port? Or is that the intake that they're talking about? If somebody can look those engines, those heads up and tell me what I have, I would appreciate that. Because we thought about replacing the heads, now would be the time to do it. But heads from some that are like $1,300 a piece.
Oh, we're back.
Oh yeah?
They're all spamming with like these bogus links and stuff. Whatever. I'm blocking them, but we do have mods and they are here. They're just probably not, they don't know that they can do this. Like Stefan and Hoogie are both watching. I don't think they know how to do this stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oy, oy, oy.
Yeah, I don't need to.
Nobody's seen these yet. These are nice.
Yeah.
They came in from Summit, so.
So we're getting a bunch of comments and stuff on Instagram already. You're not making it to Power Tour. It's like, we will make it to Power Tour, just don't know when. And we're gonna have some fun while we're doing it still. So.
Yep.
So I imagine that.
The thing is what we gained 2 days that we otherwise would not have had if Rich was in Milwaukee, and we blew up on the road. So all things considered, we're in the best shape we could be, all things considered.
And a lot of people supporting us and helping us, that is always good.
You can show up late to Power Tour. The thing about Power Tour is it's a 7-day, 7-city thing, and you can go for only one of those days if you really want.
If you're in the city that they're stopping at, then show up with your ride.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah, we could have had a Triton V8 in it. That would have been worse.
Like every sponsor from here on in is like, well, that guy got dropped on his head as a baby, so we can't work with him.
Yeah.
Triton and GTO. Let's see what's inside there. Oh, it looks all normal. Spins. That's odd. Lots of bearing pieces in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scored, so the pump, like, we got a new pump on the way, but I was just wondering if that wasn't the failure.
Yeah, we can't get a Barra in time, guys. Sorry.
Get what in time?
A Barra engine, Ford Barra.
2JZ.
Yeah. 4BT. Lots of great ideas if we weren't, well.
If we weren't pressed for time.
Yeah, but then I would think you'd still want to keep it a Pontiac engine, right?
Yeah, it's one of those tires.
Yeah, it is.
And LS swapping is borderline because people are like, oh, the 06 GTO.
It's what you expect. It's every GTO probably has one, right? Oh, and the other thing about the 440s, or what was it, 455? Sorry,
yep.
Is you're saying that it got expensive real quick, right? Because nobody's building these.
Yeah. So nobody builds 455s to like stock. So
yeah, not to stock.
No.
They'll build them up, but
so they've got lots of high performance stuff available for it, which is what we're kind of forced to go with because yeah, so we're getting better bearings and better pistons, lots of good stuff. If you like that thing, that sort of thing. So we should be able to get our, I think it's this one. We should be able to get our 450 to the tires, no problem. Now with the.
Sorry, are we still getting spam comments? I'm not seeing them now, so I don't know. Hope that's better for you guys.
So yeah.
Right on, yeah. There's like 40 accounts I had to delete.
Really?
They just come like, they just swarm and like whatever.
So yeah, started with oil. The bearings, whether they were cheap bearings or what.
Cheap bearings.
I don't know. Look at that.
Yeah.
So those are supposed to be one color and
Yeah.
none of the pieces in there, but that's all that failed. That's all it was.
No, we needed a new block. Yeah, we're getting got a whole new block. It's already at the machine shop. It's being machined.
You can see this, and that's just because it picked up pieces. I changed the oil twice.
Let's see if I can get a light here.
Yeah, and you can see the block there. It's machined 40 thou over. See all the lines. So it's not horrible, but it's definitely not great. So you could probably hone that out. Might be able to save the block, but the crank is toast. So I don't have a crank.
Yeah, that's our biggest issue, right? Is the crank.
Crankshaft.
Still don't have a crank, or
So we don't have a 400 crank. So this
Right.
block is probably okay. You could probably hone that and take that out.
so we're going 455 for the people that
but
are
we have-
asking.
We were able to find a 455 with a crankshaft. So we're getting pistons and
Yeah.
rods and everything for that block.
It's a Pontiac 455, right?
Yeah.
Not an old.
Not an Oldsmobile, no. So my machinist was a little bit confused too because he's looking at 455. He's like, your bearings are like, or your journals are like 200 thou too big. And then, yeah, even like this, they got brand new frost plugs and everything.
Man, oh man. So the other thing about this block in particular is the color of it is the wrong color. That's not Pontiac blue. So we're gonna paint the new block.
Yeah.
True Pontiac blue. Maybe that's why it blew up.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm the wrong color, guys.
So, anyway, that's it for the 400. I'm gonna piddle away. We got a couple more videos to make. We're kind of finished up. We've got the car completely
Yeah.
rewired.
There's 2 episodes coming out. Well, the next episode will tackle some of this just because the next episode is the wiring episode.
Yeah.
We've kind of been sort of keeping things a little more organized, categorized, instead of just chronological, because realistically it's all over the place. And,
Yeah.
you know, we
Well,
want to
it's a
keep
lot
things
easier to
together.
put room on wiring now that there's no engine in the way. You can just kind of
Yeah.
sit on the front cross member and just put the plugs in that wherever you need to, and there you go. So, that's just your update. We've got a lot of other
Yeah.
stuff to do.
This won't be a long,
long night.
long night, well, long live chat here, but
And then,
it's not after 7. Yes, that's right.
yeah.
Doesn't matter anymore. Power Tour is after 7 too. So, should we tell? Yeah, we did end up buying that Detroit. So look for that in the future, not soon, but
Yeah.
we'll do something with it.
And we found a scrapyard that has a nice box to match the patina on the C10. So I got a nice 8-foot long box with the rear wheel well that matches. So we'll be grabbing that. And I have all the airbag, air ride suspension stuff for the truck, so we'll be getting on that. But that's all after the Mercedes.
Yeah, that Mercedes.
Yeah.
Got what? 1 or 2
And then
episodes
it's
on that?
What's that?
1 or 2 episodes, and that thing will
Yeah.
be done. Yeah, it's not going to be a long thing. But
Whatever. It's just rewiring it and putting the Terminator Max on it. So.
yeah, Terminator install.
Yep. So, thanks for watching, guys. Keep up to date on Instagram and whatever else.
Yeah, if you're going on Power Tour, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll see you there. And yeah,
Yeah.
wish us luck. Thank you guys who donated. That's awesome of you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that, because this got a lot more expensive than we originally
Yeah.
thought.
A lot more.
By a lot, yeah.
That's all our trip money.
I was looking at Southern Trucks for my truck for body swap and.
Oh, we're doing Power Tour. Don't worry.
All that money
Still doing it.
So. Oh well.
All right, guys.
That's what it is. Thanks, guys. See ya.